We're going to export data from our local access database to SQL Server and to SharePoint lists. So I'll click the drop-down arrow at the top of the navigation pane, select Object Type, expand Tables and select Products because I want to export the Products table to a local copy of SQL Server. I'll select the External Data tab and in the Export group select More. There are many export formats including Excel, PDF and email, but we're going to upload our data to SQL Server and so I'll select ODBC Database because that's the format I want to use. We're going to change the name during export to match the naming convention of the destination, and so I'll type TBL Products and select OK and then select New. SQL Server Native Client is a more functional and up-to-date data source than the SQL Server ODBC data source. And so we'll scroll to the bottom and select SQL Server Native Client. Then select Next and type Local SQL because I'm going to save this data source for future reuse. We can then select Next and Finish, and although we're selecting Finish, the wizard will go on to prompt us about the specifics of the connection. We can now provide the server name and instance name of SQL Server, and this information is normally provided to you by your SQL Server database administrator. We'll specify that we're using Windows Security, and we're going to export to the SQL Server Northwind database, and so we can select this, and then we can select Finish. And it's a good idea to test the data source as well, so we can select Test Data Source to make sure it's correct. The new data source is automatically selected now, and now the table has been exported, and we can also save the export steps for reuse and even create an Outlook task so that we can be reminded to perform those steps periodically, maybe if we were doing monthly loads of data. And so we can save the export. And now we want to export a table to a SharePoint list. And so in the navigation pane, I'll select Invoices. And again, I'm going to select External Data. But this time, after we've gone to the Export group and selected More, I'll select SharePoint List. SharePoint lists are also on the list of additional export destinations that we can use. We actually already have a connection to SharePoint in Backstage. We've set that up already, and this could be done in any Office product. We could set it up in Word, for example, and it would work in Access. There's a Northwind subsite that we'll be exporting to, and so we'll select our SharePoint site and we're going to edit it so that we specify the subsite that we're going to export to. And open that list once it's exported. Notice that related tables are also exported with this table, so you have related data moved with it. And notice that the data has been exported, not just the structure of the tables. Now you can have a try and split a desktop database into an Access front end with a SQL Server backend.